What are environmentally friendly things that you can do less than $100? We'll tell you on this episode.
We get some rum and beer, expensive put in a reindeer, so you know we're gonna party till
Welcome
tomorrow.
back, Marine Conservation Happy Hour crew. It is time to talk about shopping and items. Right, Dr. Craken? You love shopping. You love shopping.
I love shopping. I'm sorry. I'm a bit of a shopaholic. Actually, some of these things are not things you have to buy, but
What?
things you can just do in your house.
Well, then it's not less than $100.
Some of them are free. Some of them are $1. So these things that you can do very easily to try and reduce your energy loss in your house.
Oh, yes. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna guess. One is blackout curtains.
No, but that's a good one.
Okay.
Particularly if
Alright.
you're a really, really light sleeper. But that's a good one. Yes. One thing, totally free, to close up your chimney. If you've got a chimney in your house, you actually lose a lot of heat going up through the fireplace.
Oh,
It's basically it's a big
wow.
hole, heat rises, and if you've got an open chimney, boop, 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 all that heat going out into the air. Do, 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 do.
Don't they have a door that closes? I thought that's what it is. That's what holds the heat down.
Yeah, make sure your flue
Okay.
is closed off, sealed up when it's not used. Of course,
I see.
remember to actually open it up if you do use
Yeah.
use the chimney. Otherwise, your house is going to be
You'll
full of smoke.
smoke out. Yeah, you'll be smoked out completely.
But yeah, that's one very easy thing. You basically have a tube, hot air out into the environment. An easy fix. Another easy fix,
Mm-hmm.
your dryer vent. Make sure that
It's cleaned out.
it's cleaned out. It
So-
doesn't get
oh
stuck
my-
in the open position. So it's sucking cold air back into the house. So, just make sure your dryer vent works properly.
Wait, because it has to work even harder to push out the air outside. Is that what you're talking about?
It blows hot air outdoors, and there's a backflow preventer, which can get stuck in the open position, which means that cold air goes back into the house and basically chills your house, and you sort of lose heat energy. So make sure that it's working properly, and if it's bust, pop down to the store and get a new one for a couple of dollars.
Okay.
Another one that you can do very easily, turn down your water heater, because a lot of water heaters are set to about 140 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, that's too hot.
Yeah. I mean, it's
hot.
done.
That's like scalding.
Scalding, yeah, it's done to stop Legionella bacteria and things like that. But you can just turn it down to about 120 degrees. You'll still not have problems with bacteria and so
Bacteria.
forth, but you will save a lot of energy heating that water up. So just
That is
turn down your water
interesting.
heater.
Are you going to tell your
Little
wife to do that?
Yes.
Because she's the one that does things around the house.
Yes, absolutely. But also, we tend to have our thermostat set pretty low as well.
Oh my
So,
gosh, you guys
know,
freeze me when I come over to visit in the winter
Yeah.
time.
we tend not to have the air conditioner blasting on, so we're not freezing cold here. And in the winter, well, I'm built like a polar bear. So we don't really need a huge amount of heating in the winter. So as my dad will say, just if you're cold, wear another jumper. So that actually saves a lot of energy. It's about $400 a year you can save by just turning your water heater down by 20 degrees. Another thing you can do, you've probably seen in our house, in the winter, we have all these draft dodgers on the doors. Just, we get them from like craft fairs and things like that for, like $20 because they're pretty and they have like Christmas decorations or Halloween decorations on. But you can make draft dodgers really, really easily. When we were kids, we would take an old tie and stuff it and stick little snake eyes on it and put it on the door. And, doing things like that, putting weather stripping around your windows. You can get a very cheap window installation kit for maybe $5-10 to help get rid of those annoying little drafts. You can actually save quite a lot of money going around, getting rid of drafts, taping them up, using sealant sprays and so forth. And probably no more than about $25 for sprays and tapes and so forth. So you can actually save a lot of energy that way. You can go really do what my dad did and actually put up clear plastic sheeting with duct tape. And that actually saved us a lot of energy in the winter as well, because our dodgy Victorian house back in the UK had awful, awful windows, and that saved a lot of energy. But on windows, double glazing does help save energy. Triple glazing, which a lot of people have in Scandinavia and the UK, also saves a lot of energy. But what you can do is just put storm windows on. Costs about $80 a window, cheaper than double glazing, but it does actually save you a lot of energy. It saves you about $100 to $300 in annual savings from your electricity and heating. And we're talking about savings in the US here.
Yeah.
So this is $100, $300 in the US. If you're somewhere like the UK, with heating is so much more expensive, you could be saving a lot of cashy money for doing this. So that's a really, really good one to do. Another thing, check your house that you don't have vampire devices. So do you know what a vampire device is?
No, tell me, what is that?
You have a lot of these in your house because you're always charging stuff. It's devices that are plugged in that keep drawing an amount of energy, even though they're switched off. So with your smart TVs and your speakers and all your devices like that, they may still keep drawing energy, even though they're switched off. And that can really add up. What you need to do is just go around. What you can do is you can get a smart strip or power load controllers and things like that. Go down to your Ace Hardware or whatever. Find these, plug into that. Some of them have got timers, so they'll switch off. So they're not on at night drawing energy. Some of them can do it automatically. And that can really, really reduce the amount of energy that your home is using. The average house has about 40 vampire devices.
Yeah, I have a lot. I have a lot.
Plasma TVs, printers, computers, and so on. So just switch them off and make sure no energy is going to them. And that really makes a difference. So the savings you can make, $2,000 over 10 years, so about $200 a year.
Wow, for just not having vampire plugs?
Just not having vampire plugs. It really does add up.
Oh, man.
Okay, something else you can do. Now, this would be really hard to do in places like where you are, where it's super, super hot. But, have a push lawnmower.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I was wondering if they actually are good enough to use. I mean, I was thinking about getting one.
Yeah, get a decent one. So do check and make sure that they're effective, because you can get cheap ones. And oh my goodness, we had like a cheap push lawnmower. I almost gave myself a heart attack going out there trying to mow our lawn in the middle of the summer. But
okay, you have a large lawn.
We do have a large lawn.
You could have a mini garden, like a mini farm on your lawn. I would hire someone to do.
Well, we've basically let our lawn go wild, so we don't use any herbicides or anything like that. So it's all sort of natural. But, you know, in the middle of the summer, it does turn into a bit of a jungle and we have ticks and things like that. So we do have to cut it. But yeah, find yourself a decent push lawnmower. Or if you've got friends in the neighborhood, come together and, you know, pool some money to get a really decent one and share it out with your neighbors. And that will actually save quite a bit of energy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, lights, switch to LED light bulbs. They're so much more efficient than incandescent light bulbs.
I just did that.
Yep. And one of the problems, well, one of the things that people didn't like about LED light bulbs was like the very high blue energy that kind of sometimes made your rooms look like a doctor's waiting room or a dentist's office. So you can now get LEDs which have a warmer light to them. So there's really no excuse now for not swapping out to LED lights. And they really make a huge difference. For example, there's a warm light you can get in IKEA, $2 for two. And they are 90% more energy efficient than the incandescent bulbs.
Apparently, they last till like 25 years or something.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
I mean, you'll end up saving money a little bit on the bulbs, but you'll end up saving a lot of money on the energy. Okay. In the winter, you can get a micro heat pump. So heat pumps are the rage. Really, really efficient way of keeping your house warm, will save you a lot of energy. But to get a big system in your house may cost a bit, but you can get small little ones, like the sort of size of a humidifier, and for about $500, and they can really help keep you warm, particularly in rooms which might be big and get very chilly.
Wait, a heat pump? I don't even know what this is.
A mini heat pump. It's like a little heater. It's like a little heater. It's a little bit more expensive, but way more energy efficient. But one thing you can do is to get an electric blanket. So an electric blanket can make your bed nice and toasty, and cats absolutely love them. So if you've got pet cats, they will live on the electric blanket. But you can get ones now which are very energy efficient. They are only about 50 to 200 watts, so about the same as an old light bulb. And they will keep you warm rather than heating up your entire bedroom to keep you toasty. Just having this nice warm electric blanket can make a big difference, particularly if you're in some of the colder areas of our listeners, like Alaska or Scotland or so on. And, you know, the price for one of those is less than about $20 a year in the US. So very affordable. Just make sure you get a decent.
How do you wash one, though?
Oh, don't ask me.
Okay, ask the wife. Okay.
Yeah, ask the wife. I assume you take it to a dry clean, but I don't know.
Okay.
One last one. If you have an attic, now what we did with our attic, we actually got some guys in and we just filled it up with insulation.
Me too. That's what we did.
Our attic is full of insulation, so much so that you can walk down the street here in the winter. We'll have loads of snow on our roof, and then our neighbors completely snow free because they are hemorrhaging heat from their house. So we did that, but that is a little bit more expensive. But what you can do is put a tent in your attic. So just by putting up a little nylon tent.
Are you talking about like a tarp?
Yeah, a tarp, something like that.
Okay.
It can really make a difference. But, you know, a lot of people have got a little tent for camping. Maybe you get a really sort of cheapy one, one of those ones that you just pop up on the beach, for example, to give you a little bit of shelter. But, you know, they're very, very insulating. Put them over your attic opening, and it really stops a lot of heat loss through the attic opening door, and that makes a big difference. So if you have to store lots of things up in your attic, like my father, whose attic is like a wondrous Aladdin's cave of things going back to the 1940s and the 1950s with precious stuff up there. If you want to try and stop heat loss through that, and you really must keep your attic, then just pitch one of those cheap little tents over the attic opening. You open up the door, you just push out the way. It will save a lot of energy getting out through that door. So 10 things there to make your house more energy efficient and
In the winter
to
time.
save energy. Yes. And to importantly, keep those electricity bills down.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, for people who are listening in the UK, where energy bills are so much higher, that's going to save you a stack of cash, people.
So why is it more higher in the UK?
Oh my goodness, there's a lot of reasons to do with subsidizing the cost of oil and fuel, privatization of energy companies, and a whole bunch of things like that.
Well, that's a bummer. Well, thanks for the suggestions. I don't think I need any of those suggestions here in Florida, but bring me some to keep it cool. I would appreciate
Yes.
it. I need keeping it cool suggestions.
Here in Washington, D.C., we do get very chilly
That's
in the
miserable.
winter. But, you know, you have so many vampire electronics in your house. It's practically like a Transylvanian castle. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me, Smash. Thank you very much, Marine Conservation crew, for tuning in. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Hey, Marine Conservation Happy Hour crew. Don't forget to hit subscribe and follow us for future episodes. And also, refer us. We'd love it. We would also like to hear from you, so please contact us on social media, or you can email us about a topic that you're interested in hearing about. If you're interested in sponsoring this podcast, or you would like us to come visit your science facility and do a live episode, email us at info@absolutelysmashingllc.com. This podcast was edited and produced by Absolutely Smashing. The music is produced by Jolly Shore Leave. Thank you again for listening, and we couldn't do this without you. Thank you so much for being part of the Marine Conservation Happy Hour crew.